Gotta not quick to the unmute button. All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Something to Talk About Week 4. And we are 3-1. Are you kidding me? 3-1. And
I know.
The only team we lost to is undefeated, so that kind of makes me feel better.
Yep, it makes you feel a little better, right? And yet today on NFL's top 10, we weren't in the top 10, but yet we're 3-1 and second in the NFC.
7 on TPS, and I didn't even watch the Packers guy. I always forget his name, but I've been watching his. But he only does top 10s, and we were like 8 after our winning over the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, TPS usually is really mean to us, and like even when we go on nice streaks, they usually have us like 15 is usually where we're at, which I agree with.
Yeah,
But having us, like, every team I saw, like, a good team, and then I'm like, wait, I haven't seen the Vikings yet. So it's like, all right, cool, Tampa Bay. And I'm like, I haven't seen the Vikings yet. And it's like, these guys, I haven't seen the Vikings yet.
Yeah, the NFL's top 10 I thought I saw today, and I don't think the Vikings were on it.
I agree with that. I don't think we are a top 10 team. But that's only because I have memory.
How many weeks are we going to go until you stop saying it?
We have to play better. That's where I'm at. Winning is one thing. We have to play like a high quality team, and when we do, even if we do that and lose,
okay. Before we get into the Saints game, then, but we beat the Packers week 1, and everybody has the Packers number 4, number 3.
Packers lost that game. We didn't win it. I'm sorry.
Come on. Okay.
They played one of the worst games ever.
But but we played well.
We played well. All right, I'll give you that. But
I would say it's still the best game we've played all season.
Well, definitely. I've been looking at the stats. It's definitely the best game we played. This game is our second, though. This is our second best game. But also, let's talk. All right, let's jump right into it. The Saints looked really good because our defense looked really bad. And if we barely beat the Saints, and a win's a win, I'm not going to take away from our 3-1. I'm just not. But if we make the Saints look that good, how are we going to look against the Rams? How are we going to look against the Bills? Like real explosive, powerful offenses. The same way we looked against the Eagles, and I think the Eagles are like just slightly under them when it comes to offense. The Eagles are really good on offense, but I think the Bills and the Rams have better offense, and I think they would stomp on us.
Sure.
Completely stomp on us. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. We went into the season knowing that the Vikings actually have a really tough first 4 games. I mean, it took 5. I mean, we have the Bears at home next week, but Packers, Eagles, Saints even with Jameis
Saints were supposed to be better, but yeah, they had like half. They did.
They had a couple guys out, but again, I mean, not to pull a typical Viking where we talk about the Packers. The Packers just went to the final 5 seconds against a third-string quarterback.
The greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers? Yeah, they sure did. And against the
nobody's and nobody's saying that they're bad.
Well,
they're
that's
still
okay.
Top 4, top 3 team.
That's again, it might be a thing on its own, though. Like the Packers can have a week 1 game, and they're still not going to drop underneath the 15 in the league because they never will. Because Aaron Rodgers still exists.
Yes,
as long as Aaron Rodgers exists,
sure,
they'll never be considered a 10 under the top 10 period. They just won't, unless they are like really bad, like 3-8. I think people will finally start letting them drop, but they won't get that bad.
True. Yeah, I guess you got a point. There, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we are getting a tad bit disrespected after this. Like the fact that we're second in the NFC.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, I understand it's week 4. Playoff starts today. We're the 2 seed.
I know, that's insane. Who's number 1? Who's 1 seed? I forget ANC.
It's the Eagles.
Eagles are
Yeah, so we would be the one. And actually, if you look at it today, the Packers are the 7th seed, and we would play them.
How are they not right behind us? They have the same just because we beat them?
Division, and then it's 1%. It's because it's week 4. It's all weird. The weird. It's all the bullshit.
But I also remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I also remember the year where we went 6-0, and then we had a bye week, and then we didn't win again.
Well, right.
I'm just saying, like that's my issues here.
I'm not saying we're great. Trust me. I am not. I sound like I'm a defender. I'm not, as we're going to get into in this.
I'm just, It was the same thing I was saying, but the opposite last year. Is we were a better team that our score was showing because we were barely losing those games and we played really, really well. But I feel like we're playing decent and barely winning. And I can't be a hypocrite here. Like,
yeah. Well, and the thing is like, that's the thing. Isn't this the thing like that we said last year is we're in all these close games and we never win them.
We were playing
well, we've been in 2 close games.
And we won them.
We've won them both. So it's not pretty. It's not attractive to do. But at least we're winning the 2 that we were in to win. You know, Greg Joseph kicks a field goal with 20 seconds left. He makes it this year. Last year I would have been like, well, this is done.
I got my one more pessimistic, or I think realistic thing, but people might call me a pessimist for it. But your record gets you to the playoffs, but then your record don't mean crap anymore. You could be the wild card team or the first seed. It don't matter.
Yes.
You have to learn how to play football.
Yes, you and I are on the same boat on that because this is what I always tell people that get really on the Vikings or really on any team. You're playing to be the top 7 out of 16 teams.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. So at the end of the day, I could care less what the record is.
If we make it into the playoffs and all of a sudden we start playing like an amazing team, then it's a different story. But if we pitter patter our way into the playoffs, we're out right away.
Sure, but even then, I'm a firm believer of I don't give a shit how you get in the playoffs. You just got to get into them.
Look at the Bengals last year.
Right.
After week 1 of the playoffs, if I would have said, "All right, who's your Super Bowl?" You would have said Bills, or you definitely wouldn't have said Rams. Well, Rams were kind of good, but I didn't think the Rams were going either.
That Rams that season, I don't think people thought were.
I thought Packers.
Right.
Last year.
Of course, and again, that's where we're at. Is like just get to the playoffs, and that's what we're doing. 3-1. I think what the statistic is you have a high 70% chance now, just given history. Since the Super Bowl era, if you are 3-1, you have like a 7 out of 10 chance of making the playoffs. Yeah. Okay, I'm for it. This is what I need. All right.
So you want to talk about week 4?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
That's felt like some of our best, honest, just football talk that we've ever had. That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was good. I liked it.
It's because the season's growing.
Yeah, we're not even going to make it through these cards later. All right, so we did it. We got 20. So it was 28-25. We played. Was it an away or a home? It was an away game in London, or was it a home game in London?
I think it was a home game in London.
But we'd have home next week.
But technically, I think it was a home game.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Well, either way, so we did 28-25. Time possession almost completely equal. Like we were very toe to toe. This if you go down, like their rushing yards was more, their penalties were double. Like that's kind of only, and then we had a lot of really good returns, which we'll get to, and then like 10 more plays isn't hugely different.
No,
and then we had 1 turnover there too. Yeah, we played very anyone could have won this game.
Correct.
Going out that. Yeah.
Totally.
I mean,
the one thing. Yeah, the one stat that just jumps out of that is this year we're really good at penalties.
Oh,
you want to know a stat I read today?
Mm-hmm.
Our offensive line doesn't have a single holding penalty this season yet. Like that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And really, it's been like that every game. We have not killed ourselves with penalties.
Did you see the crazy Lions stat? That they have scored the most points like any other team, or something like that. How they because every single game that they've been in has been shootouts. Yeah. like if you add all their points up, they're more than any other team. Yeah. They have a horrible record.
And their yardage too is insane. Their offensive yardage, and they just can't win. See again that we've been there.
I'm down. We can switch to Lions talk at some point because I'm starting to actually really like the Lions.
I like the Lions. They're fun.
Yeah,
they're so fun. But it was a close. I mean, this was to go back to your thing last week. We like good games. This was a good game.
Yeah, this was a good game, and it was definitely it wasn't quite like, the Lions game was like a bloody beat 'em up, like it was ugly. This game was like a nice like Rocky montage, like 10 rounds and there's still music and none of us are that beat up. Like it was a nice competitive game.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it was
football.
like, it wasn't like ugly or nasty by any means.
It was very kind of a good football game, which no offense for a game in London is probably exactly what they wanted.
That is absolutely what they wanted. I want to talk about the ball throwing stats. So I didn't even know when Aaron Wright went up there. Or Ryan Wright.
He's the punter. He was the punter. Remember they had that
he threw. Okay, I was like, when did we have another guy up there? I forgot
we had that fake punt, which was spectacular.
How did I forget about that?
Spectacular fake punt call. I could not believe it.
So a little behind the scenes, I worked that graveyard shift, and the game started at 8:30 my time. I got off work at 8 a.m., and then I got home. I started watching it as I was in the shower, and then I watched the first half, and then I'm like, I need the melatonin and pass out. So I melatonin, pass out, woke up, and I watched the highlights. The highlights straight up would skip points. Like, it was one of the worst highlights I ever saw. Like, out of nowhere, we're 3 points higher. Then I'm like, we must have got a field goal. Like, weird. It was, like, weird. So I'm like, not 100% on the second half. Sure. I'm kind of missing spots.
Yeah.
So
and truly, we had like a 3rd and 5 or whatever, or 4th and 5. We went to punt. The punter threw a perfect pass by 15 yards. Wow. It was great. It was great. It was a great play. And again, another play that Mike Zimmer doesn't call. So it was nice to have that feeling.
I'm looking for something specifically.
Sure.
Let's talk about the Vikings ball catching stats.
Yep.
Hey, who's that Justin Jefferson guy?
Oh my God.
He's playing like week freaking 1 again.
Yes. He had a great game. Him and Thielen both had great games.
Yes, and let's talk about that. One guy had 9, 10, one guy had 8. This is what they need. This is it. This is the key. Is once they start paying attention to Jefferson, you switch to the other guy, who's just as, or not just as good, but almost as good. Like also a top wide receiver. And this is exactly how we should see it, because I'm tired of looking at 13 attempts to this guy, 1 attempt to this. No, it's gotta be at least 60-40.
Especially when you have a 1 and a 2 that are as good as ours. You just can't not be doing that. And the one thing that I liked is they started using Thielen. I know you were saying this last week. They started using Thielen the way you're supposed to, like reliable. You have a 3rd and 8. You need a first down.
Yeah, he's not.
You use Jefferson to get people off so you can get Thielen one-on-one. And God, did we do that a lot. It felt like whenever we needed a first down, it was, what call can we make to Justin Jefferson right now?
Yeah.
That's always what Adam Thielen. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That was what it felt like every single time.
And the great thing about Thielen is, you can just throw it to him even if he's not paying attention, and somehow it's just going to end up in his hands.
Right.
Because Thielen, you can throw it to him when he's got 3 guys covering him, and he's somehow going to catch it in his freaking armpit.
His hands are so good. They were good. Him and the ball catching was great, and I guess because it's a pass or whatever, but that first touchdown that Alexander Madison had, that was got his 1 catch.
It's 1 catch
and his 1 touchdown. It was such a great play, and again, we actually kind of talked. Again, I'm just referring to last week when you and I were being super pessimistic, and we were kind of waiting for the offense change. That play to me was the first time I went that. When you're 3rd and goal and you're 14, 15 yards out and you
throw it to our other running back,
the secondary running back on a screen, and it works perfect.
That's exactly
the end zone, I was into it.
Well, our offense is just so well rounded that we don't have one option. We don't have 2 options. We have 4 or 5 reliable receiving options, especially when you start looking at it, even CJ Ham can catch, these people. You have so many options on our team. So when people started triple covering Jefferson, the only thing I was sad about is now I don't get my Jefferson's 2,000 yards year that. Yeah. But he doesn't need a 2,000 yard year. I wanted him to have one. I wanted him to get 180 every single game after that first week. But we
all did. But again, It is nice. And Kirk even does. I mean, Munt had that drop. I don't know. I'm sure you saw that. It was at the end of that first half when we were because he had no catches.
Oh, this is
it's like our backup tight end.
Ball running. Wait,
ball running
stats. What stat am I going to be looking?
Your receiver one. Your ball catching stats.
All right. Oh, I was looking at Saints. There you go.
Didn't have a single catch, but on the end of the first half, we had like 20-some seconds left, and he dropped a 3rd and 1 wide open pass.
Oh, I remember it.
Remember that was just horrible.
Yeah, that was rough. And also, like, you got a lot of talent here who's barely utilized. I mean, you talk about Osborne only got 1 catch, and then then Ham and Munt both nothing across the board. Well, they tried with Munt though.
They did. Well, and Ham got a pretty nice throw to him too down the field, and it's just amazing that we launched passes to a fullback.
Yeah,
it was pretty good coverage on that.
That's what I love about our team. Yeah,
I do too. And again, that's the offense we want to run.
I know you weren't using the word for that, but can we look at running stats?
Yes.
All right. Sorry. Finish what you're saying, and then we can talk about how Justin Jefferson got a run. So Justin Jefferson ran at 3 yards.
Well, that was that wide open touchdown where he walked in, and I mean they faked everyone, even the announcers.
Yeah.
Didn't know where the ball was on that. That was an amazing play.
I don't think I saw this. When was this?
That was late in that. That was the last touchdown we had.
Okay, yeah. Then I definitely
you gotta watch it because not a single person. I mean, nobody saw it. It was pretty well done. It was a really well done play.
Oh, this is such a sad status. The 1 run from Osborne's a negative. Oh, poor guy.
Probably loop around or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was nice that Cook played good games. It doesn't look great, but he had a good game.
And the funny thing about Cook, and maybe I'm completely off on this, but I feel like he has been slowing down a lot. He's not the powerhouse he was 1 or 2 years ago. He's still reliable, don't get me wrong, but like us saying he's like AP number 2, I've been seeing that a lot less, and this is a really serviceable, 20 attempts, 79, or 76. Like, I'm totally okay with this. But.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he got quite a few first downs for us. Like when it came to like the 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 6s, and 2nd and 7s. That was when he was running the ball really well, and I'm okay with that being the offense we run.
Well, and I'm always okay with our averaging 4 yards, averaging 5 yards. It's just that. You keep handing it to him, and 1st and 2nd down, you're going to get that much closer, or even right over. You throw it on 3rd, and then or on 2nd, and then you run it that little bit in the 4th. Like, there's just so many good ways to utilize a reliable 5-yard gain, and that's what Cook can be.
Yeah, it is with the potential to be explosive, which is nice to have. Yeah. He's not a top 5 running back anymore, I don't think. No, but
sadly.
Top 10, sure.
I do love Cook though. I mean,
I do too. He's great on the team, and I mean, we've keep Madison around for a reason, and if Cook stays healthy, we're fine.
So I can get Hamilton stuck in my head whenever I see his full name, Alexander Madison. That's all I hear
every single time.
My name is Alexander Madison. It's the biggest nerd ever to talk about football. We're here to talk about musicals and football. I actually want to talk about our not Saints. No, I want to talk our Vikings other junk like kicking. I said kinking. That's hilarious. Kinking. How did we not catch it? I did it for both. That's hilarious. We didn't see it yesterday, last game. Like kicking and punting and junk. We have a really good return. Yeah,
we did.
Kitty Nwangu got a huge.
Yeah, Nwangu. Yeah, he had a really big one. And then, of course, Greg Joseph was the special teams player of the week in the NFL because it was 5 for 5.
Oh,
field goals.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
Yep.
See, yep. I like that. That's nice. And yeah, he was. Talk about reliable. 5 for 5. Like 3 for 3 is worth the saying about, but 5 for 5.
5 for 5's good.
That's freaking 12 points. Or whatever.
I like the fact
15,
that they were
15 points.
15 points. And I like the fact that they were all under 50 yards. That's what I liked.
Well, you kind of can't hate on a guy when all he's doing is his record every like that game where he's like, he just got a 56, and the next game he had to do like 3 or 4 56s. It's like, well, it's not his fault at that point. Like, he can't walk on water. You got to at least get it past the logo sometimes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, no, the 256s, I wasn't even upset about it. It's like, come on. I mean, yeah, he should hit 1, but expecting that. But Joseph under 50, he reminded me of Ryan when we had Ryan Longwell back in the Favre. He was the kicker from the Packers that we had in like the late 2000s. And
I've done so much drugs since then. Don't expect you to remember a kicker's name. I had college in between that and now. All right.
Oh, I agree.
You know how many acid trips that was?
Well, but it was a big deal because he was the Packers kicker for a long time, and then he was the
So
Vikings
we took
kicker.
their kicker, and then I guess we just settled on their washed up quarterback.
Yeah, pretty much. But Longwell was clutch. 50 and below. And I loved it. And that's how Joseph feels. He feels 50 and below. You
can't scoff at that. That's so good. Like that's what a kicker. I feel like it's good to have that. Like, 58. Is he gonna make it? Like, that's always exciting.
Right.
But when it's every other kick, you're like, come on.
Saints had it when they kicked the first field goal, and it was what, 57, 58 yards.
Insane. What was
the guy could have made 66 on that one or something.
What was
the double donk was, I think, like 1 yard farther, and he just missed it to the left.
You terrified me because I didn't look at. You messaged me, I think, once because you knew I was sleeping.
I did. I didn't want you to wake up and get ruined if you didn't want it.
And I didn't look at the score. I just jumped right to the highlight. I only held my phone like enough to just see a little bit and then clicked it.
Yeah.
And then you just said like that ending though. And I was like,
that's why I kept it so broad.
Son of a bitch.
I didn't want to waste it.
And then I'm like getting closer, and like I still have no clue who's gonna win, and it's like within the like 2 points, and I'm like, so who wins this game?
I know.
And that double donk. Like, even watching it on the highlights, I crap my pants. Like, it is
it's brutal.
Because when it bounced off the side, you're like, it bounced in, and then it bounces off, and you're like, it's gonna bounce, and then donk, whoop, and you're like, oh.
So it's such like, as a Saints fan, you have to just be like, unbelievable. Because
it's
so unlucky. The physics of that is so unlucky.
Damn miracles against the Saints.
Yep. Whoops. I know. It feels a little good to always beat the Saints.
Yeah, I know, for real.
It really does.
I mean, it wasn't even a playoff game, and we still had like a weird like 1 in a million win right at the end.
I know. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And I'm sorry, but that's where my pessimism comes from.
And I'm sure
they were a donk away.
Well, and the fact that, of course, your pessimism is because the Vikings, 24 seconds left in the game, they let the Saints throw that 35-yard pass wide open down the middle.
That was insane. That was insane.
When that play happened, I was like, this is the Vikings.
Yeah.
25 seconds, and you can't. Why would that ever even be allowed? Straight down the center of the field, wide open, right to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and the dude was completely uncovered.
Completely uncovered.
Let's talk about our defense, because I got some bones to pick with everybody who isn't Dantzler.
Dantzler played great.
That's why I said that. Oh yeah, sorry. I got the smallest type ever because we had everybody and their mom playing freaking defense for. Yeah. Why do we have double the names on defense? Can you explain that to me?
It's just because it's whoever had a stat. That's why.
Oh my god!
But we play a lot of people.
Everybody.
He rotates a lot of people in.
But yeah, so Dantzler got 5 tackles, but it's that doesn't show how good his coverage was.
His coverage was so good.
Really
He's great. I remember 2 years ago we drafted him and people were just destroying him, and I'm like, this guy's good. You just got to give him some time. He got thrown in. He got threw right in. Into being a corner in this league it's a horrible thing.
It's a goofy name though.
Now he's a senior. Do you see that? They added senior to the back of his jersey, so he must have had a kid.
You're going to name your son Cameron Dantzler after you had to put up with that? Jeez. That's a boy named Sue situation if I've ever seen one.
my God, that is so funny. I'm also not. You know, the one thing that I'm not enjoying, and it's kind of been an Achilles heel of the Vikings last couple, is we never intercept the ball. We almost never.
They had 2 turnovers. What were they?
It was the fumble.
Saints. Okay.
And wasn't it just the 1 turnover? We had 2 turnovers.
Well, it depends on who you mean by we. Where is it?
They like
the overall stats. Yeah, they said 2. Is that 2 from us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because Kirk had that really bad interception he threw.
Okay.
What was the other one? I mean, I remember the Tomlinson fumble. Go back to the defensive stats.
Oh my God, those are the ones that are not named.
I love it.
Saints defensive or Vikings defensive?
Vikings.
All right, take out your magnifying glass.
First fumble interception.
I think it's so close.
What was the other?
I mean, my stats might be wrong.
Yeah, well, it's one or the other. It doesn't matter. But I remember the Tomlinson fumble. He got that on Dalton. He's playing really good. He was, according to Pro Football Focus, he's our #1 player through the first 4 games.
Who is?
It's Tomlinson, our D lineman.
Who is this Tomlinson guy?
He's our starting interior lineman.
All right, 2 tackles. I don't like him.
He's an interior lineman.
What's the TA?
Tackle
1
assist.
sack. Tackle assist. All right, cool.
So that's a half a tackle.
0 ints, only 1 FF.
He had a forced fumble and a sack. That's a good game.
All right, that's a good game.
We'll take it.
For a lineman, yeah, it's a good
for a D lineman, he's a good ball player. But yeah, I don't know. But dude, I'm going with you on the defense. We said it last week. What are we, just bend, don't break? Is that our defensive motto?
We have a lot of holes, and that's exactly where my pessimism's coming from. Literally that. Is that if teams can do what they want, we're screwed. We're not outgunners. Like, if we were outgunners, let them do whatever we want. If we had Cooper Kupp, if we had the craziest offense, which we don't, we have a good offense. We have a very good offense. But if we had that,
should have a crazy
one
offense.
Of those top 3 wide receivers, and they can put the ball anywhere they want, and they can just outgun, and we can have a game where they can get 30 points because we're going to get 40. But we don't have that team. We can't let them get 25 points. We can't. Or 30. It's really bad for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you know the one, and here's the one thing I was going to bring up, and you bring up a good segue, is I'll send this to you, but people have been dissecting Kirk's. I like Kirk again. I'm a Kirk defender. But they've been dissecting Kirk's throws this year, and he had 3 throws, and gosh, did these videos make it around Twitter, where he did checkdowns, and there he had a guy wide open at least 20 yards down the field. And they weren't wide open on the opposite side of the field either. It wasn't like he couldn't see them, but it's because Kirk doesn't go through the reads because Kirk isn't great at being Aaron Rodgers. He's not great at being Tom Brady.
But he's not Aaron Rodgers.
He's not, because sometimes when the play is, Charlie left, and the play is called to go to the Dalvin Cook 4 yards down the field, sometimes Kirk doesn't care. That's the only thing he's doing. He's going to Cook 4 yards down the field because that's the play.
You're saying he doesn't go off script. He's not an improv guy.
He's not an improv guy all the time. And I think there's issues with that. And a lot of people are pointing that out. There's one. I'm going to find this thing.
But also, I want to say one thing. It is so easy for humans to say that, and it is so hard to do that. And I know he's supposed to. He is a wide receiver in the NFL, so you should be able to do that. But it's so easy to be don't you see that guy 50 yards away with 100 other people jumping in front of you?
Sure. Don't get me wrong.
It's so easy when we see it from the top.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But again,
he should be able to.
Other football players do it.
Yeah, I know.
Patrick Mahomes does it.
My defense is for a normal guy, but he's not a normal guy. He's an NFL quarterback.
And he's an old school NFL quarterback. He's a Peyton Manning quarterback. He's a pocket play
he's
action.
A very fundamental
guy.
Yeah. Which and just so weird because you think that Zimmer would love him, but Zimmer hated him.
I know.
And he's so Zimmer's quarterback, and Zimmer didn't like him.
I know, it's so weird.
That's so weird. He's I would go so far to say Cousins is conservative, but he's definitely like I put A to B. What do you want from me? And that should be exactly like what you think.
And I'm surprised that Kirk hasn't. Granted, he did in the Saints game. He had a couple bombs where he just launched. There was a couple where he just launched them, knowing that they probably weren't going to go anywhere. But at least he does it. Yeah. So people have to know that he will throw a 40-yard pass, or else nobody's going to believe it.
He can throw downfield. We've seen it. We've seen it a lot. And we were stuck with guys for a while that wouldn't throw downfield, and that's Bridgewater. At least back in the day, Bridgewater couldn't throw downfield or wouldn't when we had him. And then I guess Case Keenum kind of did. But did you freeze? Oh, it looked like you froze.
I'm good. Sorry. We're just sitting here listening.
I'm just talking about 2016 football. What are we doing?
Case Keenum, he threw the ball pretty well. Again, that year was crazy how much he was throwing the ball so well that year. He was crazy.
You remember that year, the one game Bradford had, and he looked amazing.
Amazing.
He could put the ball anywhere. He's like, where do you want it? There? And then he tripped in his bathtub and broke 30 bones or whatever Bradford does on his days off.
Dude, I was so happy when
that game was so good.
I know, it was so good. He went 24 for 28, 3 touchdowns and 400 yards. And then all of a sudden we all woke up to Sam Bradford injury. And we were all like, that's weird.
He blew his ACL doing what?
And then the next day it was Sam Bradford has a leg injury. And we're all like, oh no, we know what that means. And then it was Sam Bradford's out for the season because he slipped in his tub.
Yeah, was it actually slipped in his tub, or I thought I made that up? No, it was something ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was something
which is too bad.
He was hanging out with the kicker and fake kicked it, and
that was it.
Broke his toe.
That was it. Yeah. So I don't know. But no, I agree with you. Again, it's another decent win.
Yeah.
We beat the Saints in London, so that was nice. So
I got all these other stats.
Do you have more stats to show?
Well, did we look at the running stats? We did.
Yeah.
I think we looked at them all.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
I thought my segue was good, but I guess you'll just.
We're good.
You don't want it. It's fine, Taco. You don't want the segue.
I want a segue, to ride around on.
Who wants a segue?
I think that would be great. I'm a bicycle guy, so I just
Blart.
Yeah. If you could do those at the factory I work in, that would be the best. We got tricycles in our factory because sometimes you gotta just carry tools from one side of the first floor to the other. So they got one bicycle, and next thing you know, there was 5 that are tricycles. When it's
awesome.
It is. So 2 a.m, no one's around, and you're like, I'm gonna go check on the knife station. That's a far walk. Ding, 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 ding.
That's pretty funny.
Somebody's walking by with their welder, and they're like, "Hey, whoa, come on, get out!" They ding at them. Yeah, no.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's a football. Hey, I got a football story.
Yes,
so
you told me a story.
Yeah, I went to. This is really funny. I went to a parade in our the town that we were in. This is a couple weeks ago, so I could have told this at any of them, but I haven't thought about it. I keep forgetting to say it. And JJ actually got to do this. So we were standing, and it was me, the little one, and then a friend of mine who has a kid the same age as my kid. And there's some older kids that want all the candy, and they're kind of right in our grill. And the football, the high school football team comes by, and this dude holds out to get the candy. And the some random kid in the football team's like, "Hey, if you want this candy, you got to hit the gritty." And the kid's like, "I'm not going to hit the gritty." He's like, "Hit the gritty." And this kid who just emulates anything the older guy does starts yelling that at the people in the parade and offering them candy to hit the gritty. But he was doing it to the pageant winner and the cheerleaders hit the gritty.
That's awesome.
I ended up just laughing really hard.
Yeah.
And a couple people actually did it. And one was like this old guy's walking by with his kid, and somebody's like, hit the gritty, and this dude's like, okay.
Yes.
I was like,
good for them.
We all cheered it. Yeah, it was really
good
funny.
for them. That's
and
funny.
He got to do it in London. So
which was cool. Did you see Kirk doing it on the way? And did you see that video?
No.
They talk like he's just walking off the field, going into the tunnel when the game's over. And I think it might be KJ Osborne next to him, and he kind of like does it, and Kirk finally like gives in and does like a little one. I'm like, oh, that's even better. So spectacular.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. So all right, so we got Bears this weekend. Where are you at, Taco?
I think
the Bears are bad. I think
28-20.
Yeah, I'm probably.
I think we're gonna at least break the 25 threshold, but like we have been getting pretty close. If we haven't beat them, like we've been hanging out in the mid-20s, right? Haven't we? I think we have.
I think that's who we are. I think I think that's our sweet spot. I think that's our sweet spot. I don't think we're a 35, 38 point team.
You need a defense if you want to be in that sweet spot. But all right,
exactly.
Anyways, if you want to hang out in that sweet spot,
but again, we're going against probably one of the weakest quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Wait, the Bears got a quarterback now?
Okay. Justin Fields is playing terribly.
Oh,
he barely throws the ball. I mean, so I think the Bears game plays to our strengths. Our front seven are good. The Bears front seven are good. Our offense is good. Like
we play good when we're playing against worse teams.
And they are worse. They are worse.
Yeah, but they were worse when they beat us last season. Right?
Well, we were, yeah. Oh, well, that's true. Well, last year we lost a lot of people. We shouldn't.
Well, that's the Lions too. Yeah. Dan Campbell looks surprised.
Yeah, I know.
He's like,
Dan Campbell.
He's like, guys, you're supposed to win this one. You know that, right?
Yes. Yeah. I know Dan Campbell's like, please beat us.
Yeah, we want that. We want to spend our first draft pick on a defensive player because I'm Dan Campbell.
Exactly. Dan Campbell's so fun.
That is so weird.
So yeah,
it seems like I'm glad he grabbed me, but I could have went the third round, guys. I'm a defensive player.
Yep.
Okay, I think it's when I watched the NFL's previews, it was 1 out of the 12 predictions went with Bears. Like everybody else is Vikings. So
I don't think anybody could choose the Bears to beat us. They just shouldn't. This is a Vikings game to win. Yeah, absolutely. And also, it's really if we get 3 wins in our division. Yes.
That's what's important right now.
That's important.
Very important right now, especially we're this early in the season. In our first 3 games against our division, we win them. That's what you want. That propels you, And that means we have tiebreaker over all 3 if all of our records are the same because we got the first win. Yeah. So heck yeah! I didn't even know that. That's what we want. All right. This is what you want. Awesome. You want to be the win. Yeah. So and that's why we're somehow above the Packers, even though the Packers are infinitely better than us. Exactly why we are above the Packers. Correct. Yeah. All right. Well. All right. Let's call it Skull and see you guys next week. And we'll be talking about the Chicago game. So yeah. See ya.